HeartBreaker Nation, it is Rob from the Pick My Perk series, and I've got another series I'm doing called the Golden Age of Gaming. If you remember in my intro vid, I mentioned I go back to the arcade days, and I just wanted to look at some of those games. They're pretty awesome. Some of them are available on Xbox Live, and holy cow, look at Wolverine's body hair. That is, you need some manscaping there, my Canadian friend. You're not an Italian. Get those blades working. Anyways, we wanted to look at some of these things that are available on Xbox Live now that you can actually play and don't have to dump quarters into. So XMEN, it was released in '92. It was published by Konami. It was a 6-player co-op, which is pretty revolutionary. If you look inside there, you can kind of see there's 2 TV screens. This thing was massive. You know, they didn't have LCDs back then, so it was a different story. But 6 playable characters, like I said, all co-op, which can make for a lot of fun. Typical side-scroller button masher. With terrible hit detection, for lack of a better term. The characters are, first off, Wolverine, everybody's favorite from the X-Men. And, you know, typical video game creation back in the day, we had to alter things from the comic book reality. So he's got that super claw attack because, you know, he has to take damage and his health has to go down. So next is Dazzler, who runs around in a little blue dance leotard and throws these little energy balls that basically mushroom up and destroy everything that's in the radius of the mushroom, so to speak. You're gonna see one here in just a second. Pretty devastating. Besides her headbands, it's about the best thing she does. And then you've got Cyclops, who's the traditional leader of the X-Men with his optic blasts. He's in a boss battle with Pyro, who's able to manipulate fire. A lot of the bosses are typical X-Men foes, with the last one winding up being Magneto. I know, what a shocker. Next character is Nightcrawler, who is one of my favorites. His actual ability is to enter another dimension and then re-enter ours at a different point, which we basically simplify into line of sight teleportation. In the game, it's basically he kind of dashes around and basically damages all of the enemies in his path when you use the superpower. Storm is the only one with an actual weapon. She has that little club-looking thing. And basically she's able to control weather in the comics, but what she actually does in the game is release these little tornadoes, and they're pretty effective. You get a group of guys grouped up and you can really do some damage. Obviously here in the boss battle it's enough to take down Pyro. Colossus is the Russian Cold War propaganda piece from the 90s, and he has this not adamantium, it's another alloy. It's a little lower on the scale than adamantium, but in the game he kind of creates this shockwave thing and he yells, and it's pretty effective in a cluster of guys. So bottom line is, should you buy it? It's 800 Microsoft points. It's a 6-player co-op, which is a ton of fun. So you can do that through Xbox Live or local. Easy side button or side-scrolling button masher, like I said, and it's really nostalgic for guys like me. It's not a true HD, I should say. And it's the hit detection on it is pretty bad. You got to line up just right with those enemies. So it's fun. It's a blast to go back and play some of these games that you can only dump quarters into.